Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Esports Money, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and the man you are looking at is not me. Who I am doesn't really matter, I'm just a guy telling a story and probably doing a pretty piss-poor job of it. The man you're looking at is Solo, Alexei Berezin, if I am not butchering his name. He is a Russian Dota 2 player associated with the CIS region and various CIS teams, including Russian national teams. Solo is, and has been for a long time, a meme. So Solo's played Dota 2, at least on a professional level, I don't know if professionally, but on a professional level since 2012. He is old school. He's someone that in 2012, 13, 14, 15, if you even made a comment that he might be on the same level as Dendi or Puppy, you would be thoroughly criticized. And he is a support player that captains his current team, so he has a wide variety of skills. He has good execution that would allow you to compare him to the crazy glory-hogging mid-players, and he has a wonderful set of drafting skills that would allow him to sit at the same table with Puppy. But I digress. Solo is a player that hasn't gotten the respect he deserves for many years for a lot of reasons. Primarily because Solo is a living meme. If you look at the screen right now, you will see a list of players currently banned from Valve events. Now, these are all banned from 2016 and 2015, but Valve was a little more lenient in the early days of Dota 2. There wasn't really an established framework. So these are banned from Valve events, but back then Valve only had the International. There was essentially that single major event. There wasn't a lot of Valve money going to the tournament other than that initial, that singular push every year. So back in 2013, on the 16th of June, Solo received a lifetime ban from StarLadder for betting fraud against Z-Rage. Z-Rage was a team that nobody remembers, and a match nobody really remembers, but you're now watching live courtesy of the StarLadder YouTube channel, and it's a rather disappointing game. There's nothing really going on here, except the play was so piss poor that it alerted commentators like Vlad and other people on the scene that something might be amiss, which they investigated and found that Solo had bet on EGB. It's a website for gambling. It's been around for a long time. It sponsored a lot of events. What you're looking at now is a picture of it as of me making this. And it was confirmed that Solo essentially used his girlfriend's account to bet $100 against himself and have the money directly deposited into a bank account he owned. I'm pretty sure about that last bit about the bank he owned. I'm not sure if it was just his girlfriend's, but I'm pretty sure it was his. And from there, he bet $100 against himself. And the odds were 3.22, and if you see where I'm going, he would have won $322. YOLO, Solo, 322, and hence the meme was born. 322, which is spread from Dota to other games to embrace or embody poor play or intentionally losing a game, or I guess most specifically, throwing an insurmountable lead away. So, why am I talking about this guy that is just a giant memer from years past? So, Solo has never really been the guy that you would really... I don't know, he's not the first pro that comes to your mind when you think about what pro you want on your team. Now, if you look on the screen right now, and I'm saying look at the screen because there's just a lot of images being stationary, so I understand if you all tab this. If you scroll, as I scroll up from 2012, there's a first place at a major, but that major $17,000, which isn't very much for a Dota pot split 5 ways. First at a Premier Moscow Cup, $37,000. These are pretty far apart. Huge paydays just don't seem to happen for him. He doesn't really have anything in 2015. In 2016, he was 5th through 8th at the Boston Major, and didn't really do anything at TI, and I'm looking for his TI placement from previous years, but it looks like he didn't even land in the money. And then you get to 2017, and out of nowhere, he gets 5th, 6th, eliminated by the winners of TI, Team Liquid, and his team wins $1 million. That meant a lot to me then, because I've watched this guy play Dota for a very, very long time. I've watched him grow. It's not often that people get the chance to fix their mistakes, and Valve said they would be more firm in the future, so I don't have a heck of a lot of sympathy for the people that went out after Solo did this and gambled their lives away and ended up losing. But Valve had no precedent, and Valve was much more hands-off back in those days, so they let private tournaments mostly handle how his ban would go. And after 9 months, Solo was brought back onto the scene to minor success, but he kept playing. And I think that's the theme of this whole video. This guy kept playing. He didn't stop. He's played full time and placed in tournaments constantly, even if there's no money, even if he's not winning any real money, even if he's just winning qualifiers to get further on, to get greater status for his team or for himself. He's just done it for years and years. And because of the sheer magnitude of TI, nobody really noticed when Solo was part of a team that won $1.1 million at TI this year. I mean, it moved me more deeply than I think the event had the time to talk about, because they had to move on to the next and even bigger prize money match. But today, on the 29th of October, Solo's team, Virtus Pro, won a paltry $500,000 from ESL in the first Valve-sanctioned major of this massive major and minor series that we have between TI-7 and TI-8. And they did it by winning first place, which I think is the real... that matters more than the money in a lot of ways, because that gives them the points to then potentially just be invited to TI without grinding through a qualifier. And it shows that on today, Sunday, October the 29th of 2017, Virtus Pro, captained by Solo, with Solo making solid plays in addition to drafting, won a Valve major. Today, they are the best team in the world. And furthermore, Mercedes-Benz became a meme over the course of the weekend because of the sheer volume of ads they had during the event. But they gave ESL a solid chunk of money, and they gave them 50,000 euros. I thought it was dollars, but it's euros, so it's a little bit more, to put towards a brand new Mercedes of an individual's customization of up to 50 grand, and or it's a coupon for 50,000 euros off, and it would go completely freely to the MVP of the entire event. And it doesn't have to be from the winning team, it's just to a single player voted upon by the community and the talent and the staff of who deserves it the most. And Solo walks out with his team after he wins this major. And Solo has a face, as you can see, where he always looks a little bit like he's crying, and I don't mean to insult the gentleman, it just, he has a face where if he is starting to show that intensity of emotion, it's easy to get confused, it's easy to hide. And he stands out there proudly with his team and goes away, and they come out and announce the MVP of the entire tournament. And Solo, the man at 23, he wasn't just like a teenager like some of the people banned for life are. He was 23 years old when he committed the 322. Or he was about to turn 23. He would turn 23 in 2 months. And that guy, at 23 years old, betting $100 against him because winning that $322 was worth more than moving forward in the tournament because straits were so dire, and he knew that they couldn't win a major tournament. So the risk to reward was in favor of betting against himself and taking that risk. someone coming from a background that can be considered that cheap or dishonorable, or that desperate, and then being brought in front of a stadium full of people after his team won first place, and having an announcer look him dead in the face and say,
"Come on, man, you're the best player."
Thank you.
A man of few words, the MVP. Once again, please put your hands together for Solo as the MVP, for his team as well, who are major champions. Good work, mate. Very good work, and that is it.
And his reaction to that is why I had to make this video. I have been a fan of him for a very long time, but I don't think my words can do it justice. To do him justice. So for the first time ever, Solo won. The Twitch chat was not spamming 322. For some reason, I would have been. I think it's cool now. But today, 322 it's a badge of honor. It's a meme associated by, as of these words leaving my mouth, the most valuable Dota player on the planet today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I threw this together rather hastily, as you can probably tell, because we're about to get flooded with content for the new patch, but I wanted to get this out there and address someone that has influenced my memes and my jokes and the culture of Dota and even the rest of esports for years and years and years, and how he has grown more than anyone would have ever expected. Thank you, Solo. Thank you for the memes. Hey guys, that thing I said about this thing being easy and hastily thrown together was about 10 hours ago when I just recorded the audio, so this was a huge amount of work, and if you liked it, please God hit those like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you next time.